Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Newcastle United's training ground in Benton. More exciting times ahead for us because it's getting a brand new building put in place. New perks for the players, the coaches. I'm here today to reveal it all to you guys. As you can see, I'm standing in the rain. I don't care because I know that this football club is on the up. I'm excited to see what we do over the summer, what we do even around the ground at the minute. As you can see, Shearer's statue's getting moved back. We've got all sorts of bits and bobs being put into place, and imagine when the transfer window opens. I'm excited, I'm very excited. But yeah, that's until then. This is now Newcastle's training ground. This is already public information, by the way, so I'm going to stick the actual link to the news down below in the pinned comments to make sure to read it for yourselves, guys, so you fully understand the change. Finally, if you guys are new to the channel, I really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. All the news, all the content will always come on this channel first. But yeah, that's about it really. Without further ado, let's get into it. The rain's finally stopped, guys, but anyway, I made a video about the training ground a couple of weeks ago. I still stand by that video. Now, these changes, in my opinion, are nothing more than short-term changes. It's going to take a lot of years for a new training ground to get built. We got to find the location first of where we want to build it. That could take ages. It's going to take about 2 to 3 years to build the training ground. We could still be looking at a 4 to 5 year plan before we even got a new training ground. So for now, short-term changes have to be made. We can't extend the land we have at the training ground, but we're building on the land we have. We're not extending anything, we're quite literally just putting a bit more on the building. Obviously we have the land to do that, so there's no problems there. It'll get approved from the council, I would imagine. So the reason why I'm talking about this now is because that video I made a couple of weeks ago, I still stand by it. If you guys haven't seen it yet, make sure to watch it if you want to hear more about the training ground itself and why I believe we have no choice but to relocate. But anyway, there's a heads up there. Without further ado, let's go for the changes. So Newcastle's training ground's been in Benton since 2003, and in all that time nothing's really changed. There's been little bits and bobs now and again, but has overall stayed just about the same. And it feels like, if you've ever been to the training ground or you hear staff members, players talk about it in the media, everyone knows it's outdated, everyone knows it's not good enough. And even with these short-term changes, the best way of describing it is it's like a turd. It doesn't matter how much you polish a turd, it's still going to be a turd. And with the training ground, it's on borrowed time. It could suggest in the future that once Newcastle move elsewhere, that this training ground might get given to the under-23s or the women's team, for example. But for now, though, it's a short-term change, nothing more, nothing less. And I'm fully expecting within the next few years some seriously big plans to change with the training ground and new locations put into place, etc. Let's talk about the building itself now. So there on the screen there, that is the current training ground, how it looks. With the brand new building coming into the training ground, there was the plans on the screen there. So where the arrow is, it's kind of like an L shape that goes around the side of the building. They've got quite a few new changes they want to make to the training ground. I'm confident they'll get approved from the council because, again, they're not extending any land, it's just on the land they've got. So what changes are they actually making? Let's get into them. The first major change coming to the training ground is, you ready for this? A player lounge. Wow, I can't believe that. Seriously though, how have they not got a player lounge already? The training ground's been there 18 years, they haven't got a player lounge. It's astonishing. But yeah, a player lounge will be getting put into place so the players can actually socialise. Now, I've never been inside the training ground before, but I'm going to assume that the players are just sitting there, just a kitchen area really, just being little dining tables, and that's where they socialise, I assume. So now there's actually going to be a lounge put into place, which is good for team bonding. After a training session, players can just go sit down with each other to have a chat. There's no need to rush off home, there's no need to sit in the dining tables. You can just sit in the lounge, relax, enjoy themselves and actually interact. I think for new sides coming in as well, there's a good opportunity for them to meet the players, and overall they're just great. A lot of great team bonding behind the scenes. Right. Getting fans everywhere, guys, thank you so much. So Maximin is a player recently who's came out in the French media and he looks like he's slagging the team off. He's got these comments here saying, oh, if I had better teammates I could get more assists. Now, it looks bad, but he actually went to Eddie Howe's office yesterday and he was explaining to the manager how the media misinterpreted what he was saying. He didn't mean it in that way. And I think with someone like a players' lounge, it allows Sir Maxon to sit down with his teammates and just explain, well, that's not what I meant something else. And with a player lounge, it just allows players to talk more, it allows them to express their feelings more, and I think their ideologies on the game, for example, just themselves can sit down with these players as a captain, they can just explain how to improve people's games. And it doesn't sound like much, but it really helps team bonding. Eddie Howe has this philosophy where he wants the team to gel together, and a players' lounge is exactly what he asked. I'm willing to bet every pound I've got that Eddie Howe actually asked the owners to put in a players' lounge, because it will benefit the way he does his team. And yeah, that's the first thing put into place. It should already be here. How is there not a players lounge already at the training ground? But yeah, that's the first thing I'll be getting added. Easily the most important thing that's getting added to the training grounds. This is a sad moment, by the way, but rest in peace to the paddling pools. No more. After 18 years, the paddling pools, they're finally going to be out because Newcastle are getting hydrotherapy pool. Listen, I don't know when the testimonial is going to be, but I want to be there for the paddling pools because it had a long service, but we can finally pop them. And by the way, I really hope that Newcastle have a video where it just pops some paddling pools, just for the sake, we just put it on the media pages. So that's the biggest thing at all, because hydrotherapy pools really help with injuries. Newcastle have a lot of injury prone players in our squad, and hydrotherapy pools help them to come back quicker. It helps the pain, it helps improve posture, balance. Just when you're in the pool, you can relax your muscles more, you can improve your joints, and it just reduces the pain, like I said before. So it's easier for players to train when they're injured, it's easier for them to sort of settle back in. And for a Premier League team, again, we should already have this stuff. I'm pretty sure Newcastle are one of the, if not one of the only teams that hasn't got pools in the Premier League. It's ludicrous. I played college football, we trained 3-4 times a week, which is more than the previous manager at Newcastle. And we would have these facilities, you could do this stuff. I was playing college football, I'm not a Premier League footballer at all. But we had this stuff, and a Premier League team doesn't have this stuff. It's crazy, it's just ridiculous. But we've got this stuff in now. Like I said before, it really does help with the posture and the balance of players when they're in the pool. And with players like Callum Wilson, Paul Dummer, Isaac Hayden, players that we know are going to get injured at some point because unfortunately that's just how they are. It's going to help with them come back quicker, and I think in the long term, it's just common sense. You've got to hide stuff like this so you want to get players back. Leicester City, when they won the Premier League, they had the facilities for injury, so a player like Jamie Vardy can come back about a week after an injury and really benefit for them winning the league. So it will help us on the pitch for sure. So it's good to see these stuff getting put in. Highly recommend you guys follow Dell on Twitter, by the way. She drops bangers all the time. Quoting Lee Charney today, nobody's ever turned this down for our training facilities. God, I would never forget the club we once were. These stupid comments all the time, oh, well, you know, when no one's turned us down. It doesn't change the fact that it's terrible. It's still a terrible training ground. Well, what do I even say? We had paddling pools for millionaires. Those millionaires are sitting in bloody paddling pools we probably got from Sports Direct. And I mean, no, that's in the past now. We're getting this stuff put in. All things being put in is a kitchen, for example. We're getting a better kitchen with better products so the players can eat better food in the training ground. I don't even want to imagine some of the food they've been eating in the past. I really have a feeling that times they would have been doing some pretty bad stuff. So, I mean, it's going to help us again. Diet, for example. Eddie Howe have his little check boots out, making sure players are eating the correct stuff. And at the training ground, it's going to help us in the pitch again. The healthier players are, the better the player on the field. Fitness issues, we had that first game of the season against West Ham. 60th minute onwards, we lacked the fitness. West Ham destroyed us. That will happen in the Premier League if we don't stay on top with. So that's very important to see that being brought in. Again, it's just small things, but it needs to be done. There's going to be better science rooms. There's going to be better rooms so we can have our board up so the manager can talk to players easier. Just little tweaks like that, little implementations. And the training ground structure itself, it's going to be revamped so it's not a maze. That's one of the things that's been said in quite a few articles, that it's a bit of a maze for players and staff to get around. Again, I never been in it, but listen, it sounds like a pretty complicated place to be at. So, alright, it's basic stuff, but it just needs to be done more professional for the media when they come in, for example. On the outside, I think it needs to be a bit more TLC done so it looks better when new players turn up, when Sky Sports are outside getting their training ground footage for new signings. So little things like that, I think we will adjust to. There'll be a brand new door so it looks better when players turn up. There'll be better manager rooms as well, and we will just improve on the rooms we've got and make sure that the correct things are put in place so the team has the best possible route going forward until the new training ground is put in. So there we are, guys, going to finish the video off there. There are some big changes for sure. Obviously the pools are huge. Player lounges, better manager rooms, science rooms, better food for the players to eat. It will help us now in the short term. In the long term, we will obviously play our cards and get that new training ground in. So anyway, guys, I'm going to finish things off there. Let me know your thoughts down below, how big you think these changes will be. Benton for now is staying, but what will happen to it in the future? Let me know your thoughts down below. So thank you all for watching. next week, well, I'm going down to Manchester tomorrow actually, so we'll get a video done down there showing you what their training facilities are like. We're going to compare them to Newcastle, I think, in the video, because I really feel like long term that's the sort of structure we will have. So yeah, take care guys, thank you for watching, exciting times continue, and I'll see you on the next one.